I'm Carla from the Animal and Habitats Department at Carnegie Science Center. Welcome to Something to Watch, a series where we share fun science videos for educators, for family, and for children of all ages. We're practicing social distancing today. I am in my home, in my own kitchen, and we're going to talk about food. More importantly, we're going to talk about how you can grow your own food from things you would normally throw away. Most people know that you can grow things from seeds. So something like a bell pepper where you have the seeds on the inside, it's pretty standard to know that you can grow a plant from that. There are other parts of plants you can use. This includes pits, stems, roots, and we're going to go through some of these today. Now, basic principles for doing this is you're going to need a cup or bowl of an appropriate size to hold the plants. You're going to need a warm, sunny area. Typically a window ledge works really well for this. And then eventually you're going to need pots or potting soil or an area outdoors to transplant these plants. Everybody has probably ran into a potato that looks like this with stems growing out of it, or even worse, a wrinkly old potato like this with all these eyes sticking out. Now we would normally throw that away, but you can actually use this to grow more potato plants. So this is a piece I have just cut off. This is a newly cut off piece. There's no real leaves yet, but after a couple of months of letting that edge sit in water, here is how I grow them. So after a couple months, this is the plant I have. If you look down here at the bottom, there's some white roots. After I get those roots, I can pop these pieces off. And these individual pieces can be used to grow new potato plants. And one thing to watch for about potatoes is the foliage is toxic to dogs and cats. So if you have a dog or a cat that chews, you want to keep that foliage up away from them, or perhaps choose a different plant to grow from your food scraps. The next easiest plant to grow is going to be from stems. So this is going to be something like celery or lettuce. When you take all the outer leaves off that you use, you typically have this brown base here, and then a couple small pieces in the middle. Now, if you're going to grow a new plant, you need to leave a few small pieces in the center. This will provide photosynthesis. It also keeps from damaging the area in the center where the new leaves grow from. So we can set this down in a cup or in a bowl. You want to submerge this bottom darker part in water, and eventually you'll get roots there and be able to grow more celery stalks or lettuce leaves. Moving on, and similar to the potato, we often find shriveled up garlic cloves. So I have a clove of garlic here that's been sitting in water for a little while now. We can see there's a nice green top growing, and if we look closely, we have roots. So once you have these roots, you can place this in soil. You want to cover this up to the edge of the green, and you'll grow a whole new bulb of garlic. Not just a clove of garlic, but a bulb. Similar to potatoes, these do better outside instead of in a pot, so a raised bed or even garden soil. The next easiest to grow is going to be from top or bottom cuttings. So a bottom cutting is when you have something like a leek or a green onion. Typically when you're cleaning this, you're going to cut off this root end. That root end piece can be set in water. You'll set it down this way and grow a new plant. The other side is top cutting. So that would be things like radishes, like I have here, or a carrot, where when you cut off this top edge, you end up with something like this. You have greens, this little top piece. This little top piece can be set down in water, or it can be buried in soil, and you can grow a new plant from that. Next time you're at Carnegie Science Center, feel free to stop one of our friends in red, or if you're in the Animal Habitats Department, we often wear black, and ask about growing food. For more fun science videos, log on to carnegiesciencecenter.org and look for more to read, watch, and do science at home.